Hello, Tashitele, everybody. I hope everyone is doing good. And welcome back to today's session. So, as usual, we start with taking a few moments to settle our body and mind in the present moment. You can do that with short breathing exercise. Now, take a few moments to refresh our refuge practice in Guru Buddha Dhamma Sangha. Uh, Try to feel, with the reasoning, uh, the power of visualizations, power of the interdependent conditions of our the connection that we have established through, such as taking refuge, uh, mm, mm, taking refuge in Guru Buddha Dhamma Sangha, and establishing uh, the karmic imprint, uh, you know, relating to Buddha's holy objects, hearing Dharma teachings, and uh, witnessing uh, the the conventional sangha and understanding the characteristic of the ultimate, Guru Buddha Dhamma Sangha. So through that, we have created, conditional, interdependent causes, and on that basis, then when we feel the presence of the Guru Buddha Dhamma Sangha within yourself, where you are, and existing in entire universe or existence, definitely happens, and not just imagining. Here you are visualizing on the valid uh, reasonings, valid base, which is the interdependent base. Mm. And also by the power of the Buddha's quality, the omniscient wisdom. The omniscient wisdom, prevails, every single existent, including on your mind. Therefore, you know, as long as you acknowledge it, and Guru Buddha Dhamma Sangha is right there. So try to, establish that steadiness, steady conviction as firm as possible. And also feel the presence of all the lineage gurus, all the way up to Guru Shakyamuni Buddha himself, Buddha Manjushri, Buddha Maitreya, all the profound lineage gurus, extensive lineage gurus, the Panditas, Kadamba masters, all the lineage gurus of Lamrim, all the lineage gurus of philosophy, all the lineage gurus of Lojong, that surrounded by entire their retinue, completely, within you, or completely around you, surrounded you, and witnessing your interests, your dedication, and your practice in relation to cultivation of virtue, dharma, the path, and aspiring to actualize the Buddhahood for the benefit of numberless sentient beings. Whenever we visualize refuge and the merit field, if we visualize them in a very delightful aspects, and the infinite brightness of their aura, the radiations of lights, helps us to receive quicker blessings. Helps to purify our mind, swiftly. So try to visualize in that way. So now take a few moments to understand the nature of samsara, understand the contamination of delusion and karma, of the six realm sentient beings, that brings about the pervasive suffering, the samsara, which is very painful, which is very harmful, and each and individual six realm sentient being has their own individual karmic consequences, the suffering, specific sufferings that which are unbearable, in particularly in relation to the suffering of lower realms. And even for human being, the human lives is extremely fragile, even though it's so precious in one way, but then at the same time, still bound by karma and delusion, very fragile in, uh, you know, uh, easily get bound by complete delusion and karma. For eons from this, even from this human life, then for eons of lifetimes, can be bound in the darkness. Uh, so therefore, it is extremely urgent, even to those who are born in higher rebirths. No question about who are born in the lower realm. While we have these blessings, while we have this mindfulness and awareness of the Dharma, then, to condition them by expressing genuine love and compassion. So generate love and compassion to all the 60 sentient beings, by understanding their suffering, their situation of samsara. Yeah. So on this basis, then the moment that we have, the life that we have, the day that we have, is extremely precious, because that, uh, the the person you are in the present moment, equipped with all the qualities, capabilities to extract the greatest meaning of life, which is to bring immense of benefit to sentient being, and immense of benefit to your own freedom. And the best way to do that is dedicating the full energy of our body, speech, and mind into learning Dharma, cultivation of Dharma, practice of Dharma. So for that purpose, then, at least this session, they're going to give full heart, full energy, full mindfulness, and actualize, as much purification as possible, in particularly the purification of the root cause of this samsara, which is the ignorance of not understanding, not realizing the absolute truth, the emptiness of self and phenomena. due to that, completely get hallucinated by grasping to the false view and generate limitless, uninterrupted graspings, grasping of attachment, grasping of aversion, grasping of jealousy, grasping of pride, grasping of self-centeredness, grasping of dullness, grasping of excitement, grasping of low self-esteem, grasping of depression, grasping of wrong ideas, negative ideas, grasping of impure, grasping onto impure understanding, impure perceptions, impure apprehensions to self, to others, to things and events. All these are very, very fruitful cause for abundance of pain, suffering, abundance of, samsara. And this is so obvious because of all this false apprehension or false grasping. We get into experience of suffering or pain. We experience suffering of change. Then no question about, not even one moment throughout lifetime, not being separated from the pervasive suffering. Like inseparably, deep drown into pervasive suffering. And all these are because of simply not realizing the ultimate nature or the ultimate truth about self, about others, and about all experiences. All these sufferings is because of our perceptions, like such as five perceptions or five senses, when it relate to experience or when it relate to its own objects. Because of this wrong, because of the ignorance of not knowing the absolute truth, the emptiness, everything interpret in grasping. And due to that, suffer. So therefore, for the benefit of everyone's liberation, starting from yourself, then I'm going to give full force to correctly understand the emptiness and correctly to know how to analyze they analyze the absolute truth, to analyze and to get to a definite understanding through valid reasons, through valid reasons, on emptiness. Then to have a clear wisdom, that which is object of meditation on emptiness, the clear wisdom on emptiness of self and emptiness of phenomena, that which is the object of the meditation, which is the only way that one can able to replace the ignorant. One can able to replace the wisdom from ignorant. One can able to replace the suffering from, replace the liberation from suffering. One can able to replace the transcendental body from the contaminated body. Transcendental aggregates from contaminated aggregates. So this is the only way. Yep. Okay. So with that, keeping that in heart, then we go through the text. The page 91. Yeah. So last session we discussed about the emptiness of the basis, or emptiness of the object. And today we will discuss on the emptiness of the subject, the mind, the perception, that perceive the emptiness on the object. So in the text it says that next, the meditation on the absence of the intrinsic existence of perceiving subject is presented in the following line. The outline is: examine the nature of the unborn awareness. Unborn awareness. Which is the wisdom realizing emptiness. The unborn awareness is the wisdom realizing the absolute nature or the absolute truth of the self and phenomena. Contemplate thus similar to the preceding meditation. The very mind that negate the intrinsic existence of the perceived object, the I, in terms of it is past, is no more. In terms of it is future, is yet to be. And in terms of it is present, is composed of three parts. So the similar, like how we examine lack of intrinsic existence, to the uh, um, um, to the objects, where we analyze the emptiness, the self, then the phenomena, the aggregates, and rest of the things and events. On last class we have discussed, how to negate the negation. We discuss about first need to know the negation, then uh, uh, then you know then you actualize the wisdom through the result of negation, through the result of negating the negation. Mm, mm, the awareness, the awareness of emptiness, or awareness of realizing the absolute truth. It's just simply the realization that actualize by the reason of to be able to negate the negation, that which is uh, you know which is the reason why why one was hallucinated, why one was false in the trap of ignorance, why one carry the mind of ignorance, because of one carry the influence of the negation. You see, so the moment the that uh, the wrong concept or wrong perception, which is the negation, that negated from our understanding, then the new wisdom is the wisdom of emptiness. Whether to do with the person or the phenomena. So now, even so, not only the objects are empty of intrinsic existence, but also the subject, the perceiving mind, also, lies in the nature of emptiness. The perceiving mind, the wisdom realizing emptiness of person, also lack of intrinsic existence. Mm. And the reason is, as given in here, the very mind that negate the intrinsic existence of the perceived object in terms of it is past, is no more, in terms of it is future, it's yet to be, and in terms of it is present, is composed of three parts. You see, so the perceiving mind, if intrinsically existent, then either it has to be existent permanently from the past and till to the present, until to the future, but that is not valid. Uh, uh, then otherwise it has to be exist in the past moment of the mind. You know, uh, the present awareness that you actualize, through the negation of through negating the negation of intrinsic existence on the object, that awareness, that present awareness, is a result of in the result of the past continuum, the result of the past continuum. So therefore, it is being result, then it cannot be present, simultaneously in the time of a cause, which is the past, in the past moment. You see, uh, even though there are non-Buddhist philosophers, who are unable to establish any result without establishing it is substance. At least it is substantial, existing in the causal stage. If there's no such, then there's nothing to be the right result of the right cause. But as far as concerned with the overall Buddhist philosopher, then in particularly the Pasankiga, the any form of the result, let's say, even conventional level, yes, it does exist by a product of its cause, but in conventional reality. But when it comes to ultimate reality, then in ultimate reality, the result, result in the present moment, result in the past, result in its cause, result in the present moment, it does not exist, even substantially, or even substantially. It is absolute empty. Absolute empty on any basis. You see, it exists merely the name. Merely the name. So therefore, the perceiving mind of emptiness exists merely in the name. Nothing substantially or momentarily, exists from its own side. Substantially, substantially is no way to exist because it's untangible. But then occur a doubt that it may exist. It should be exist. In the time. Even though it does not exist, in the substance, but then it should be exist in the time. So therefore, now here is to prove that even though conventionally there's existence in relation to its production, the cause, but in ultimate reality, then it does not exist in the past momentary, present momentary, and future momentary. It's absolute empty in any basis. So therefore, it is just simply merely a label only. Even the mind realizing emptiness, it just simply exists in the name. It simply exists in the name. In pronunciation only. You see. It is devoid of color, shapes, and spiritual location. So the awareness, the wisdom realizing emptiness, it is devoid of color, the shape, spiritual locations. You see. So it cannot be said to be located in any specific point of the body. Since it is a wisdom realizing emptiness of a person, then the object that realizing is empty of intrinsic existence has to be proven on the correct basis, such as the five aggregates, such as five aggregates, etc. Then, since you establish the conventional existence of a person, but at the same time is lack of intrinsic existence on that basis, then when relate to the wisdom realizing that you may have a doubt that even though the object does not exist in any part of the aggregates, but since you're able to establish a genuine existing person or I, then the perceiving subject has to be, exists, maybe some part of the body, maybe some specific location. You may arise this kind of doubt. So therefore, if you go to search, if you have such doubt, then if you go to search the the wisdom realizing emptiness of self onto any aggregates, you cannot find, without individually, whichever basis that you go and investigate, analyze, you cannot find. You cannot find, you see. So on the object you cannot find, then within the subject itself, then within the subject itself also you cannot find in relation to past, present, and future, or it is continuum. You see. So therefore, it's absolute, voidness of intrinsic existence. It is when analyzed, it is empty of all identifiable characteristic. So this mind, the wisdom realizing emptiness, so this wisdom, empty of identifiable, characteristic. You see, this wisdom has a characteristic. The characteristic is the wisdom that which is free from the stain of ignorance of intrinsic existence, and that is the characteristic of this wisdom. And this wisdom is free of grasping, free of hallucination. Therefore, it is wisdom. Therefore, it is correct. It is attribute, or it is characteristic. You see, but this characteristic, empty of intrinsic or inherent, identifiable characteristic. You see, so it is empty. It doesn't mean there's no characteristic. There is a characteristic. Conventionally, there's a reasoning why it is wisdom, and that itself is the characteristic of the emptiness mind. But intrinsically, when you go to search, this characteristic onto the mind, the wisdom, you cannot find in its present thought. You cannot find in that present wisdom. You cannot find in its earlier continuum. You cannot find in its future continuum. You see. So again, the characteristic also it exists, merely in the name, merely in the invitation. The perceiving mind too abides as a primordially unborn. You see. So the emptiness wisdom, similar to the object, similar to the ultimate nature of the object, the self and phenomena, which is not something, is a newborn. The nature is ever existed there. As long as I exist, the nature is always there, always exist. The truth is always exist there. You see, is only bring into awareness, to the awareness to the being that which have obscured to see the truth only. It doesn't mean that is something that new discovery was a new actualization on the object. So emptiness nature on the person is not a kind of new establishment on the person. It is ever existent as long as the person exists. Similarly, the the emptiness, what's it, the wisdom itself, it is ultimate nature, is primordially unborn. You see, um, um, it's not something that uh, you adorn a new quality onto it. That quality is pre-existent. You see, as long as the what do you call the mm, mm, um, that mind that in the continuum of ignorance to the object of emptiness, or even after actualizing the wisdom, or in understanding the true nature of the object, the ultimate nature of that mind in any continuum is ever existent, as long as the mind exists. You see, so like that. So next, the meditation on the absence of intrinsic existence of phenomena is presented by the following line. Thus, the remedy too is freed in its own place. Thus, the very mind that performed the act of applying the remedy through the experiencing the emptiness of all phenomena, including your body and the mind, is not established. In general, all objects of knowledge are subsumed within the class of either objects or mind. Furthermore, since the mind in it is generally, generality has already been examined. You should think certainly nothing is established primordially as a possessing substantial reality. Free the mind of conceptualization in this manner and release it in this state of non-grasping at intrinsic nature in terms of any of the three times. Focus the mind with ease, lucidity, and vibrancy, not allowing it to fall under the influence of either dullness or excitation. This is presented by the following line. So now the remedy too is freed in its own place. The remedy is the emptiness. Here, the understanding or the reflection on the emptiness of emptiness. So first we discuss about the emptiness of the object. Then second, we discuss about the emptiness of the subject, the mind. Then now the third is the emptiness of the emptiness. The remedy too is freed in its own place. The emptiness itself, the emptiness nature itself, free from intrinsic nature. You see. Because for some individuals, due to the heavy influence of what you call of the grasping, either inherent or intrinsic or true existing, permanent existing, etc. Without having some kind of dependent, either inherent or intrinsic existence, you are unable to establish existence. Like even within the philosophical school, even the Southern Digger, even up to Southern Digger school, uh, you know, without asserting, uh, well, the inherent existence, unable to establish, unable to uh, establish existent. So now here, you establish the lack of intrinsic existence on the object, lack of intrinsic existence on the subject, the mind, the perceiving the emptiness of object. Uh, mm, uh, but then still there may be, but still, that you are unable to convince, you are unable to, you are unable to convince without something, being out there. Is no way that you can able to establish something is truthful, and there is the where the false comes in, that maybe the remedy itself may have an intrinsic nature. So therefore, you can still able to establish mm, the lack of intrinsic existence on the object and lack of intrinsic existence on the subject, still can able to establish it is reality, able to establish both the conventional reality and the ultimate reality without any difficulty, because the emptiness itself, you know that it has its own firm basis, that it could be, that emptiness itself could be, lies in the nature of intrinsic nature. Such doubt may occur. Or even there's no such doubt occur, but then without depending on such kind of, you know such kind of the what do you call, the belief, then like you feel like, everything just simply disappeared, like everything become empty, like everything become non-existent. So 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 since the emptiness theory is all about establishing genuine existence, genuine existence, um, truthfully existent, you know, then uh, without there's anything to hold as an intrinsic, basis, then you just can't help to establish existence. It just simply disappear everything in empty. So in that reason, it is necessary to present the emptiness of emptiness. So that then you comes to a point that uh, entirety of existence itself lies in the nature of lacking of intrinsic existence. Entirety of existence itself empty of existence. So so yeah. Thus, very mind that perform the act of applying the remedy through the experiencing the emptiness of all phenomena, including your body and the mind, is not established. The very mind that perform the act of applying the remedy uh, through experiencing the emptiness of all phenomena, including your body and mind, is not established. Therefore, the very mind, the very mind, using the the wisdom, using the wisdom, realizing in a lack of intrinsic existence of the person and the phenomena, applying that as a remedy, to overcome the grasping. to experience the emptiness of the phenomena, including your body and mind, is not established when you are not established the lack of intrinsic existent nature of the emptiness itself. So just want to read something that related in order to reinforce the understanding. The Chandrakirti's commentary on the 400 stanza says that the seed of worldly existence is the consciousness. It is spare of activity. When you see that objects lack self, you negate the seed of worldly existence. So the conventional existence that we experience, the world and any experiences that comes in our perception, our to our body, to our mind, is the consciousness, is the mind. Objects, it is a spare of activity. When you see that object lack of self, the object, the self, the I, identity, and the body and the rest, lack of self, lack of intrinsic existence, then you negate the seed of worldly existence. Worldly existence is suffering existence, suffering existence. You see, so how emptiness help to negate the suffering and negate the causes of suffering? When you realize the lack of intrinsic existence of the person I, the suffering relation to I overcomes. When the lack of inherent existence, actualize on the body, then the conventional suffering relation to the body is overcome. You see, so similar way, rest of the phenomena, rest of the the samsaric experiences that we usually call can be overcome and can be overcome by realizing the selflessness of the samsara, the selflessness of the emptiness of the samsara. You see, so when you actualize the wisdom of lacking intrinsic existence on any suffering basis, body or mind, you gain the liberation, you gain the freedom from that suffering. The Arya Deva's 400 stanza says, just as the tactile sensory faculty pervade the body, delusion lies within all the afflictions. Therefore, by destroying delusion, you will destroy all afflictions. Mm? So the delusion, ignorant. When you destroy the ignorant of hallucination of intrinsically existing on self, then uh, you destroy rest of the afflictions. So you see, yeah. So therefore, you destroy the afflictive emotion of grasping to the pain, afflictive emotion of grasping attachment to the pleasure. All will be overcome. You see, so where the pain experience, where the pain experiences is through the medium of grasping. How we feel the pain of body is through the medium of grasping. If there's no medium of grasping, there's no way we can experience the pain, feel the pain in relation to our body. You see, similar goes to the mind. So therefore, the root cause of the root medium is the ignorant. You see. So when this root medium ignorant is destroyed, then rest of the fluctuating, the emotional disturbances will be destroyed. You see, the medium of fluctuating emotion will be overcome. You see, then the sensory, our senses, including our mind, will still perceive things, experience things, but then experience in the wisdom. Perceive things differently than worldly. Experience it, but experience different from the worldly experience, which is a freedom from suffering. You see, so you see, so the suffering or freedom, so freedom from suffering is not a matter of the object basis. Is very much a matter of the the concept. So you see, so all the experience of pains are simply conceptual idea. You see, and the freedom from those pain also is freeing from that conceptual apprehension. So Chandrakirti's commentary on the 400 stanzas says, because of confusion brought on by the thought that things truly exist as they appear, delusion act to superimpose upon things as essence of true existence. So Nagarjuna's 70th stanza on emptiness says, the teacher said that ignorant is the conception that in reality things are produced from cause and condition. From this, the 12 factor arises. The 12 link of samsaric experiences arises because of ignorance. Through seeing reality, through seeing lack of intrinsic existence, on the on the on the object, on the subject, and on the it is absolute nature itself of lacking of intrinsic existence, as we discussed earlier. Through seeing reality, you know that things are empty. Ignorance does not arise. And this is the cessation of ignorance. And because of this, the 12 factors cease. You see, so the whole samsara comes to end simply by seizing the ignorant. So it's a very, very huge, statement. You see, and it is also a very clear proof that suffering and freedom from suffering is very much, dependent on the, on the mind. You see, what kind of mind that you carry, the ignorant mind or the wisdom mind. So therefore, you see, even though we discuss about true truth, Buddha presented the true truth, the conventional truth and ultimate truth. In actual fact, there's only one truth. You see, only the ultimate truth. The conventional truth is truth to the conventional reality, but false to the ultimate truth still. You see, so whatever conventionally worldly that we experience, the emotion, the whatever, everything that what we experience, the taste, the sound, good sound, bad sound, good taste, bad taste, etc. It is the good sound, the good taste, it is truth. The conventional good taste of good curry is is a truth to the conventional truth, but still it is false to the ultimate truth. The way how conventionally establish that good taste of the curry or good taste of coffee, when you go to examine, that, you cannot find even nominal substance at all from any basis of the coffee, either to do with the concept of the coffee, or either to do with the substance of the object of the coffee, or even in the actual reality of the coffee, even the conventional, the reality. If you go to search, you cannot find the substantial conventionality in it. You see, so the way the conventional reality is established, and how conventionally apprehend, it does not, it does not present the same, presenting of the existence of the good taste in the ultimate reality. Because conventionally, it has so many factors that you have to establish it. Just simply establishing correct basis, you have to have a coffee bean. Without the coffee bean, you cannot establish coffee on the rice. You have to have a coffee bean in order to conventionally prove, this is coffee. You see, so the coffee bean being coffee bean is conventionally is a truth, reality. This is a relative truth, and coffee beans grinded, Without grinding, you cannot have a nice coffee drink. You conventionally you have to grind it. You have to make it powder. You have to roast it. So all this conventional reality is definitely exists out there. Without that, you cannot establish coffee, isn't it? You see, so that is a fact to the conventional, truth. But that coffee bean, you go to investigate within every single atom of the coffee bean, you cannot find coffee bean at all. You will totally lose completely, uh, you know, coffee bean on the coffee bean. You will lose completely the coffee bean on the conventional coffee bean. You see, so only in the conventional relative you able to establish coffee bean as a coffee bean with so many factors of its characteristic. But then in ultimate reality, you know, you only will come to a conclusion of total voidness of coffee bean. The only thing that one can find is simply a label only, nothing else. Only a label only. You cannot even pinpoint one tiny atom saying that, okay, this is the starting point. How you establish the coffee bean. In ultimate reality, not even such is exists. Completely voidness of it. You see. So due to that reason, then the truth is one. Which is the ultimate truth. So similar way, all the suffering and all these experiences. In a conventional reality, and then yes, because of the cut on the hand, that wound bring about the pain. That you cannot say there's none existent there. Conventionally, there's definitely existent there. Conventionally, we are suffering people. Samsaric person like me, you, I don't know, but me, still suffering person, suffering sentient being. Because conventionally, my body is completely, contaminated with these filthy stuffs. There's no kind of lasting, ingredients that I carry. Then mentally, full of delusion. You see, emotionally suffer. Physically also suffering. And that I cannot say empty. Non-existent. I cannot say that. So therefore, Buddha taught true truth. The truth of the conventional truth on the conventional relative world. Then the ultimate truth is the absolute truth of entire it is ultimately existent. You see, so just simply understanding the cause and effect, the dependent arising of cause and effect, we won't able to eradicate the ignorant. You see, we won't able to eradicate the ignorance. So, in order to eradicate the ignorant, in order to eradicate the cause of suffering, and to really to experience the liberation from the suffering, we need to realize the ultimate truth, the ultimate wisdom. That's why, as said before, when there's when there's ignorant, then rest of the traveling of samsara experience comes. When the ignorant is through seeing reality, and that things are empty, ignorance does not arise, and this is the cessation of ignorance. Because of this, the 12 factors are ceased. So first you realize that, then you realize, of course, like for us, like first we realize through theory, then after that get genuinely convinced through reasoning, factual reasoning, experiences, etc. Then through meditation, through single pointed meditation, through analytic, through absorption meditation, then you completely kind of change, change the entire mission, the entire engine of our being. You see, so it's like a changing entire engine of our main engine of our being. You see, the earlier engine is ignorant. Now the new engine is the wisdom realizing emptiness. You see, so when you carry the wisdom realizing emptiness, then even when we experience the conventional reality, such as the decay of the body, the physical inconvenience, the person do not feel the inconvenience. Person may conventionally, you may see the inconvenience. If you have a physical stroke, definitely you cannot walk like before. You walk, slanting way, isn't it? If your body got amputation, you cannot, let's say your leg got amputation, then you cannot walk like straight like before. Not the same way. You see, but when comes to experience of inconvenience, the person do not experience inconvenience. When you realize the emptiness, you see, you do not experience the inconvenience. You see, whether you crawl or whether you walk, as long as you don't feel the inconvenience, then it doesn't matter, isn't it? Even you can walk properly, but then you have an ignorant mind of feeling inconvenience, and even someone is quarreling but don't have the mind of inconvenience, then quarreling is much more better than the walking straight, isn't it? You see, it's like someone, feel the drinking just natural pure water, tap water is the best. The moment you taste it, you feel that's the best drink. You just feel perfect. You don't need anything. You don't need, you don't need to add sugar. You don't need to have coffee. You don't need to have anything else, juice, anything else. Just pure tap water. But there's someone that, who has a drink that add all the world existing ingredients, the sweetness or sour, whatever the best taste, and they still feel, dissatisfied, still feel not enough. Then which one is better? Just drinking pure tap water is far more better, even though conventionally it's just one pure water only. It doesn't even cost maybe cent. But that another drink that it costs so much money, so much effort, needs so much different ingredients, but still, there's no contentment there. You see, so that really shows that, is the mind. The mind is the one that which interpret, the experience of joy, happiness, unpleasant, suffering, etc. So you see, so therefore, see, when we realize emptiness, then naturally the samsara stops. So stopping samsara, stopping the the 12 link of interdependent origin or interdependent rising, it doesn't mean, it doesn't mean not to take rebirth again. It doesn't mean that you don't need to die again. It doesn't mean that you don't need to get old again. It doesn't mean that your physical body will decay again. It just simply means that you stop to the suffering. Doesn't matter whether you're going to get old or not, whether you're going to die or not. The continuum of the awareness is always in liberation, in freedom, in happiness. It's so true, isn't it? Think of it. So true, isn't it? Think of it. So true. So true. You see, sometimes we feel, in our life, maybe everyone may have, something, in our life that, especially, the period of that, the simplicity, the very simple state of life. You don't have so many friends, you don't have so many families, you don't have, so many ideas, or like when like now when you think of like myself, when I think of around 11 years old, that 11 years old, my continuum of the past, environmentally and internally, almost everything like that, almost there's nothing much. It's a simplest state of life. But even now, thinking of it, that is the most joyous period of life. Now you are full of knowledge. You seen whole world. You have so many people. So many different tastes of food that you tried. And but the inner peace, the satisfaction, the joy, the innocence, it's not there. Not there. You see, because the grasping is getting thicker and thicker. The time goes in the life, the more engaged, more things that comes in your way. It's very much become a condition to intensify the ignorant, intensify the affliction, intensify the grasping. Because of that, become very rigid, very, very, very stiff, congested person, become, congested person. You see, in fact, supposed to be, more broader because you gain more knowledge. When you open your senses, you should be more open because of you already, see more things, but you get more close up. You get more stressed. You get more discontented. And this is simply because of increasement of the affliction, increasement of the ignorant. You see, so so that also proves that happiness, peace, it does not, inherent from the object or from the environment, or even from the subject itself. It's just simply an idea, simply a concept, simply a perception. If the perception is the concept, if the idea is wisdom, filled with wisdom, ever joy, freedom from suffering. If the concept, the idea, the perception is filled with the ignorant, affliction, grasping, then, whatever name that you carry, how much knowledge that we have, we are still miserable, still suffering, isn't it? So it's so true. Is it? So, so from here you really can see you see. So now you can see the benefit of knowing the Dharma, genuinely knowing the Dharma, knowing the emptiness, you see, uh, and 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 yeah, genuinely and straight to the point, knowing the why we have to know emptiness, why we have to understand emptiness, is to refute the negation, which is the ignorant. You know, as long as we're able to negate that, we are liberated. Otherwise, until you refute that, even you may understand emptiness, but then you may not get help. You see, so that's why we really need to meditate. That's why this Lojong text is like a very wonderful guided meditation. You see, so yeah. Mm. And really, like, really can able to liberate ourselves from day-to-day problems, you see, experiencing the conventional reality, but we pass through these conventional paces of reality without affecting our inner peace, without disturbing us, without disturbing us. It's like a cloud comes, rainy, all these storms comes, but it just, it passes without disturbances. We have to come to like that kind of point, and that kind of point is like a space itself, like the sky, the sky itself. Even how heavy cloud comes, it never get affected. It never get affected. It just comes and it goes. Whatever that affects around, but the empty space does not affect it, isn't it? Similar way, if we carry the space of emptiness, in a deep cultivation, then all these storms that comes in our life, sickness, aging, including death, won't able to affect us. We can continue to remain in peace and continue to enjoy that liberation, even life after life, even how many times the body has to change, even how drastic sickness that comes in our body, that person cannot be affected. Yeah, body can be affected, but person cannot be affected. You see, so so this is a real medicine, real medicine. That's why emptiness is the absolute dharma. You see, so 84,000 teachings of the Buddha taught is in order for us to reach to the understanding of the emptiness and application of emptiness. And this is the only way Buddha can able to assist us in liberation. This is the only way, you see. The Chantakirti's commentary on the 400 stanza. Without any doubt, what exists only through the presence of conceptual thoughts and does not exist without conceptual thoughts definitely does not exist essentially, as in the case of snake that is imputed to a coiled rope. You see, so all our situations are like that, like to the coil rope in the dark shadow, in the dark shadow, to the coil rope. Suddenly, when see, then we see as a snake, and you pronounce as a snake. You perceive as a snake. Once that perceptions arise, you are affected by the fear of the snake, even though the snake is not there, even though snake does not exist on the rope, even does not exist conventionally. In absolute reality, absolute is not. But because of the ignorance of not knowing the rope as a rope, but perceiving rope as a snake, you get frightened, you suffer. So you see, so therefore, all our experiences, all the perception, towards objects and events are in the conventional in the conventional reality is like perceiving, in a conventional reality, let's say, in a conventional reality, you are perceiving, both in the conventional reality, ultimate reality, you are perceiving in the dark place the coil rope as a snake and get affected to your emotion, you see. So here the conventional reality is the conventional reality of carrying the ignorance, even though there's no conventional reality of snake on the rope there, but because of carrying this, the conventionality, the grasping to the or the accepting or believing to the conceptual, the thought that arises in you, simply agree to apprehend, and in that conventional reality, uh, you know, uh, what say, that you experience the fear, you see, and in ultimate reality, that because of not knowing the absolute truth, the ignorance of not knowing the coil rope as a snake, you experience the suffering, you see. Uh, so that when you talk about conventional reality, the conventional reality in relation to uh, the base, and conventional reality also in relation to the subject, you see. So not necessarily just the object. Okay, so I will stop here. So for this week, I think, those of you interested can, as a homework, uh, try to do. You can read the same text few times and try to understand what really is talking about, and and in summary, you know, have a firm conviction, firm understanding the emptiness of self, then emptiness of the aggregates, our body, etc. Or at least start with the emptiness of the self-identity, then try to have a genuine kind of conviction. Okay, I understood. What means emptiness of I, and then in order to understand the emptiness of phenomena, then at least you start with with the form, our physical form. Then also try to understand and try to get to really, like feel, yes, absolute, this is it, the emptiness of the the mind that perceiving, the emptiness of the mind that perceiving the object, then emptiness of emptiness, you know the wisdom, the wisdom itself, uh, the wisdom realizing emptiness itself also lies in the nature of emptiness, also lies in the nature of lacking of intrinsic existence. And you can use the last sessions, the analogy, that I have presented. You can use that in order to make more clear about it. The way of using those analogy, its idea is just the same to both to the object, subject, and the emptiness itself. Then come to a position that really makes sense, not just text says so, really makes sense that, like what Nagarjuna, Chandrakirti, just I have read few quotations, and those quotations, if you want to read easily, of course you can read their own text if you have a translation. If not, otherwise you can read from Lamrim Chemo on the wisdom chapter from the Lamrim Chemo. You can read from there. Not only these few quotes, there are many other quotations that which helps you to really make sense. In particularly the point that the ignorant is the this one in particularly, the Nagarjuna's fundamental treatise. When ignorance is stopped, compositional activity will not arise at all. That which stop ignorance is knowing and meditating on reality. By stopping this and the factor of developing arising, and the latter factor will not arise. And this way you thoroughly stop the whole mess of suffering. So come to a conclusion that the suffering and freedom of suffering is simply the play of our mind. We do talk about it, but if you corner yourself and ask, do you convince? And we may have a hard time. You see, so we need to corner ourselves and give so many reasons and so many analytical reasonings. On the basis of analytical investigation, try to prove to ourselves that it really is, it is, in order to really bring the benefit of understanding emptiness. Otherwise, just theory, it doesn't help. Theory is just only a few percentage. That's it. You see. So that until that by some time that on the basis of this conviction, that you can start to do extensive meditation on emptiness, that until that you really stay away from suffering while we are experiencing the conventional reality of samsara, but we can still stay aware. Away. We still stay away from affecting our life. You see, and this we can clearly see great practitioners. Within even our lifetime, that we saw the great practitioners, that they still can remain in peace, in meditation, in absolute, free from disturbances, even while their bodies are decaying, while their bodies are affected by sicknesses, even at the time of dying, even after death, they can still, remain in, deep inner peace, deep absorption in great bliss and voidness from all the conventional samsaric effects. You see, just lately, many of you have saw the news. There's one Geshe Chambajazo, who passed away in Taiwan, who remained about 28 days of clear light meditation. The body was put in a not even put in the ice, just normal room temperature. Mm. And during that period in Taiwan is the hottest period of the year. Mm. Mm. And when the scientists they check, the energy is like almost like a living person without decaying the body. Even those normal people in the hospital, they all get surprised. How possible? Never happened before. But in a Buddhist practitioner, there are many masters like that. Yeah, you see, and even after the bodies are already dead, but then you still not affected. Your meditation, your concentration, your peace, your you totally get under control. You see, even after whole conventional body is dead, like this person clinically is dead. You see, so the consciousness never dies. You see, in ultimate, there's never ultimately there never dies. You see, like what Karsa. Like what says in Hasutra, likewise, Shariputra, all phenomena are empty. They have no defining characteristic. They are unproduced. They do not cease. They do not cease. You see, uh, the 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 Dharmakaya never cease. Uh, the most subtlest state of the wisdom, the wisdom mind, the continuum never cease. You see, so yes. So try to do this. At least for few, for this week. Try very best to do, Tara study on emptiness, Tara contemplation on emptiness, and Tara meditation on emptiness, and try to use emptiness wisdom. When ups and downs comes in our day-to-day life, and just experiment. Using emptiness wisdom. And next week, or especially next week, then may even we may need to do a homework on doing some concentration and meditation on emptiness, in order for us to gain fully control over ourselves, the environment, etc. That we need the tool of the concentrational mind. We need to reach up to the very much like vipassana level, the special insight level. So, but the way to get there, first we have to know the emptiness, we have to get convinced on the emptiness, and we have to have a certain analytical process of training our mind, by planning great imprint on emptiness, and most of all the conviction, through many reasoning, the firm conviction. Then on that basis, then you do the concentration or meditation on emptiness. Because as I mentioned earlier, in order for us to able to meditate on emptiness single-pointedly, or to do shamatha training on emptiness, first we need to gain the wisdom from analytical meditation on emptiness. So this week is very much like, the homework to do analytical meditation on emptiness. Then next week, we try to do concentration, like shamatha type concentration training, meditation on emptiness, like that. Okay. So with that note, I will stop here. So we dedicate whatever the merit we collectively accumulated and the merit that accumulated by past, present, future Buddhas. May all this merit be the complete cause for numberless sentient beings, to purify the samsara, it is causes, the karma and delusion. Then actualize the causes and conditions for liberation, such as actualizing the wisdom of emptiness. Then may this collective merit be a complete cause for whatever the southern whole human beings are experiencing this trouble from the coronavirus to be pacified, purified as soon as possible. May this collective merit be the cause to actualize the cure for that as soon as is possible. And also this collective merit be a complete cause to overcome the natural disaster. There are so many natural disasters are happening. That fire, distractions, the flood, etc. Then may this collective merit be a complete cause for all the world leaders and all the leaders of the states and leaders of society, leaders of family, to cultivate wisdom of emptiness, cultivate wisdom of then cultivate altruism, love, kindness, and compassion, so that anyone under their care can ever experience peace and happiness. May this collective merit be a complete cause for all the beneficial beings, like His Holiness Dalai Lama, Jebje Lama Sobarimpoche, and all your spiritual gurus and spiritual friends, and yourself and your families, to have a long life, good health, fulfill all your aspirations accordingly. And may this collective merit be also dedicated for those who specifically who have given name requested prayers from me, from our gurus, and from you. Those who are sick, those who are in trouble, those who are passed away. Whatever their reason to request a prayer, to be fulfilled accordingly. Then may this collective merit be a complete cause for us to, quickly realize the emptiness, direct wisdom, and able to, eradicate the entire hallucinations and progress in the path swiftly and actualize Buddhahood for the benefit of numberless sentient beings. Thank you very much. Take care and have a meaningful week. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.